Hey Barb, I wanted to do a short video to talk a little bit about building and just some of the tricks that make this easier, some of the things that took me a while to figure out. Um, let's really quickly go over just the basics. Again, we're going to select the hammer. We're going to use our D-pad to select the hammer from our quick launch bar, which is the upper left-hand corner. Uh, right, left on the D-pad, that selects. I got two hammers here, so I'm just going to pick one. When you get to it, you press up. Also, this is counterintuitive, but to deselect it is also up. Or you can just pick something else and press up. Like over here, press hammer, press up. I'm switching between my hammer and my hoe. There we go. You don't have to deselect it to select something else. You can just select something else, and that changes it. So anyway, this is all the D-pad. Once I've selected my hammer, I'm pressing the B button. That enters the hammer menu. This is where we get to choose what we want to build. Remember, our bumpers, our right and left bumpers, move between these windows, and there's different categories of things here. I'm looking for the floor piece, which is on this building building tab. Select the floor piece here. So when you place a piece, placing a piece is easy. Placing other pieces in relation to that piece is a little more challenging. For floor pieces, it's actually very easy. You just kind of put it up next. I'm using just my left stick. When you kind of get aligned in the direction that you want to build, like if I know that I'm going to build just a strip of floor pieces across here, I'm not going to touch my right piece. I'm going to move my left piece up until this snaps into place. And the snapping behavior is that's what we call it, snapping. And the game is basically, you get it close and the game pulls it to where it thinks it should go. And it's sort of a logical place for the piece to join another piece, and it places it there automatically. It kind of sucks it over to it. So I'll place this piece by using the right bumper, pop, and the blue color means that these are stable, which is good because you have different levels of stability, and you always want to start off with blue. I'm using the left stick to just move over to the left. Bam. I didn't do that. The game did that. It just snapped the piece right to it. So I'll use the right bumper to place it. Do it again. Just move into the right. I think I said I moved to the left earlier. I'm moving to the right. I don't know my right from my left. If I say the wrong direction, just pretend I said the right direction. So I'm moving to the right using the left stick. And I'm going to place it there. And we'll place one more here. Again, I'm just moving to the right, just using the left stick to move to the right, and then using my right bumper to place that. So now I want to go back. I'm going to walk back to the left, and then I'm using the left stick to walk down, and you see what happens. It just automatically sucks to where it needs to be right there. And I'm just going to go ahead and lay this floor out, and all I'm doing is using the left stick to move to the right bumper to place the piece, and then going back, just like I'm a typewriter. Oh, excuse me. Oh, heavens. And I'm just going to lay the floor out. That's all there is to this part of it. So I'm going to do that real quick and stop talking. So you can see I'm out of the range of my workbench. Workbenches have a range. This dotted line, this means that I can build the range of my workbench is the range inside this circle. So if I step outside the range of the circle, I can't. My workbench no longer applies, and I can't place the piece. So I want to build inside the circle. If you're ever building and suddenly it says you don't have a workbench, but you know you have a workbench, just look on the ground for this circle and try to get back inside of it. And I just change my position, and now I'm walking up, and it's the same thing. You're just using the left stick to move, and then the right bumper to place. All right, we're done. The wall piece is very similar. I'm going to use the wall piece. Press B to choose the wall piece, and we're going to set the wall in the exact same manner. So I'm going to line myself up, right bumper, walk to the right using the left stick. I'm going to leave a place for a door right here, so I'll skip one. Okay, at this point, I need to switch to this other wall. I can turn around, but my wall piece has to turn too, so I'm using the triggers. Triggers rotate the wall pieces. Remember, this is the right trigger, rotates it to the right. Left trigger rotates it counterclockwise. So use that, and again, I'm just going to go right down the line, just using my left trigger and my right bumper. Rotate it, right down the line, right down the line. This is the easy part of building. And this is a very simple structure too, don't get me wrong. The structures get way more complex. But just as far as building a simple house, it's, oops. Okay, so I built this in the wrong place. It didn't snap. I built it before it snapped, so I want to deconstruct this. So I'm just going to highlight it, turn it blue, and press my left bumper, and that deconstructs it. And there we go. Snap it. Snap it. And we're good. And we'll go ahead and place the door. So I'm going to press B, select the door piece, and place the door. And now it's going to get a little more tricky. So now we're going to place the thatched roofing, and I'm going to choose the 45 degree. There are two types of roofing shingles. There is the 45 degree, which is a steeper angle, and there is the 26 degree piece up here, which is a lower angle, and you can see the difference right here. I'll put a 26 degree piece next to a 45 degree piece. You can see how low that is, and then a 45 degree piece. And there's sometimes, like, if this were this is the 45 degree piece. So if I had used two layers of walls, if I had put a second layer of walls on here, so that this was one wall and there was another wall stacked on top of it, and this was just all the way around, it was two stacks high, then I would use, probably the narrower roof here. But since I'm only using one stack, I want something that's a little more steeper incline, so I'm going to use the 45 piece. So I'm going to place these here. And I'm going to rotate it. So let's talk a little bit about snapping angle. Right now, I am snapping from the bottom, and what that means is when the cursor is aligned. If you see where the cursor is right now, it's actually auto aligned. The cursor is aligned at the bottom of the piece. If you look at my screen right now, the little crosshairs are at the bottom of the piece. If I press down on the right stick, it's going to change the location of where the pointer aligns on the piece itself, and it's going to be there's four different locations. There's the bottom left corner, the bottom right corner, the top right corner, and the top left corner. And this is useful when you're kind of standing at a weird angle. Sometimes the game. Sometimes you just want to change the angle at which you're snapping to more easily snap the piece. So I'm going to change this. I'm going to press down on the right stick. And see, now it's snapping from the top. This is not optimal. None of the top pieces are going to be optimal. I want to get to a bottom snapping piece, which is so that it's aligned to one of the corners. So I'm going to press the bottom again. Now I'm aligned with that bottom right corner. I can change it again. It'll switch to the different top corner again, and it's to the other bottom corner. So right now I'm at the bottom left corner. This is good. This is good. Now I'm just dragging the cursor to the top corner of this piece, and it snaps it perfectly. And now I'm just going to walk to the left, snap. Walk to the right with the left stick, snap. Snapped at the wrong spot. Deconstruct it. And now I'm using the right stick a little bit to kind of change my perspective here. And you have to get used to using. Sometimes you use the left stick to drag the piece. Sometimes you use the right stick to make the small manual adjustments. And the trick is just knowing when to use each stick, and that just kind of takes some playing around. So I'm going to rotate this piece, and I'm going to skip a square here, and I'll show you why in a second. I'm leaving these corner holes for a reason. There's a particular piece that goes there. I'm going to rotate again, and snap it. Snap it, and I'll snap one more on top of the door here, and there we go. And so now I've left my corner pieces. Let's go ahead and fill in the corner pieces. Press B, and because I've used these 45 degree angle thatched roof pieces, we have to use the 45 degree angle corner piece. There's a 26 degree piece, which is this one, and then over here there's the 45-degree piece. So always make sure you're using, if you're using the 45-degree roof thatch roofing, you want to use the 45-degree corner pieces. If you're using the 26-degree, use the 26-degree. And now I just move this over here, and it just kind of pops right in. Then I rotate it, and I'm choosing the right stick, pop it in. Notice that my perspective changes, but I'm not moving right or left, or front or back. But now I'm kind of far away, so I'll use the left stick to walk over here a little bit. And now I can use the right stick to make small adjustments. And there we go. I should be snapping to the bottom. See how the cursor is aligned to the bottom of this piece? So when I rotate it, I want to be snapping it to the top of the piece that I'm connecting it to. So now, if you look at the piece that's highlighted right now, the blue piece, look at the upper left corner of that piece is aligned with the bottom piece of the piece that I'm placing, the bottom corner of the piece that I'm placing. So there we go. And now we'll place a couple more top pieces here, or excuse me, a couple more corner pieces. I'm gonna press down on my right stick because I want to change this to the bottom. I want to be snapping to the bottom of this piece. So there we go. Snapping to the bottom, but that's the wrong corner. Let's switch to that. There we go. And rotate it. Same over here. And we'll come over to this corner. I'm just rotating and snapping. And you'll feel it snap. You'll know when it connects. So if you're not sure, you can just try to move the right stick just a little bit. If it doesn't move anywhere, then it's snapped in place. If you have to kind of pull the right stick to make it move, then it was snapped in place. Right there. All right. And now we're almost done. We need four more 45-degree pieces, 2 on each side. So let me select those, and let's fill it in. I'm gonna switch the angle at which I'm the location at which I'm snapping, by pressing down on the right stick to move it to the bottom snapping location. Press down to move to the bottom. There we go. If you press down on that right stick and it doesn't give you the location you want, press down on it again. You can just rotate through the different angles. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. And that is a fully constructed small house. And at this point, I can build a bed, which I'm going to do. Place a bed over here. Corner. And I'm going to build a workbench, so I don't have to, I can deconstruct my workbench that's outside. I'll put the workbench over here out of the way, in the corner, in this other corner. There we go. All right, let's go outside and deconstruct all the temporary stuff I had set up here. Oops. That one still gives it to me because I got that other workbench built. There we go. Still my range here. Yeah. And I'm just, it doesn't matter. Right now I'm just using the workbench. It's the last thing that I built. You use that to highlight something, and then you press the left bumper to deconstruct it. This could be anything. And sometimes you don't want anything. Sometimes you just want your cursor. And if you choose the hammer from your build menu, press B to get to this menu, and choose your hammer, then it's just the cursor. You're just using the cursor. And now I can select this piece right here. It turns blue, and I can use the left bumper to deconstruct it. And that's, that maybe is a little less confusing. Sometimes I noticed that you would be like, it's like the prototype would confuse you because the prototype would appear in front of you and you would think that you had already built something. Well, if that's confusing to you, you can go in here and switch it to the hammer, and there's no prototype for the hammer. The hammer is used if you were to click the right button right now, you see the health bar for this it's a yellow health bar, but it's just got a sliver of health there. If you were to press the right bumper right now, it would repair that. That's what the hammer's for. It's for repairing stuff. But let's go and we'll deconstruct that. We don't have to, but just as example, deconstruct that too. All right. The last thing we have to do, let's see where we set our bed. Our bed's over here. We need a fire going near the bed. You cannot build a fire inside of a closed structure. If you do, the smoke will kill you. I learned that. That was the first thing I learned in the game. Let me go ahead and set my spawn point. There we go. So yeah, see, the bed needs to be placed near a fire. You can't build a fire inside unless you build a fireplace, which I will show you how to do next. Um, but for now, let's build a fire outside. We'll build it right here. That'll give it plenty of ventilation, and it'll let us sleep. So even though there's a wall here, I still get heat through the wall. So I walk in here, you see how the fire icon appears in the upper right corner. That's because my bed is right here. You can see the glow through the wall. And I can probably sleep at this point, so I'm going to do that so we can reset, and then I'll show you how to build a fireplace. And we'll go to sleep. Good night. All right, it is morning time. It's going to be a little dark outside, but it'll lighten up pretty quickly. So let's step outside. So let's talk about smoke real quick. Fire produces smoke in this game. Perfect timing. Fire produces smoke. Smoke wants to go up. Smoke wants to go up. It wants to rise. And for smoke to rise enough so that it doesn't kill you, you want to get it about 4 levels high. And what I do is I usually build there's several ways to do chimneys, but a simple chimney is just to build it onto the house. So I'm going to go inside the house and look here. This is going to be, let's do it here. Let's build the chimney. I want to make sure I've got room that's nice and level. I think this is going to be the best spot right here, actually. Right here, yeah. So let's place some pieces. Let's go into our build menu. Actually, let me go over here and repair real quick. Let's go inside and repair that hammer. I've got 2 hammers, but we'll just get in the habit of repairing as we need to. So this workbench is inside now, so it's technically covered. And I can just press down on my right stick to repair. I come outside and D-pad. Go to the D-pad, press up. That'll select my hammer. I am now in build mode. Press B to the build menu. And let's go over and choose the wall piece. Because the chimney is just going to be a small room, basically. And I'm going to snap it. I'm just moving my stick to the, using my right stick. I'm pushing the right stick to the left until, bam, it snaps right there. There we go. And then I'm going to rotate it. There we go. It snapped. And I'm going to rotate it. And snap. So, I have a small room. My chimney is a small room. So I want to build this up. This is going to go up several levels. So the first couple of levels are pretty easy. I'm just going to change the snap point to be the bottom of the piece by pressing down on the right stick. There we go. Now it's the bottom, and I'm going to rotate it. I'm going to do the back of the chimney first. And I'm just going to push it back. There we go. That snapped right there. And I'll go ahead and push that up. I'm using my right stick now to press this up until it snaps. And then I can probably do one more. Let me see if I can do it without having to do a ladder. Just pressing it up. Yep, that does it. And that might be, I think that's high enough, actually. I think 3, that's 4. Yes, 4 levels up. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think that's going to work. So let's go ahead and build out the rest of the walls. I'm just going to use my left trigger to rotate. Make sure that that is aligned perpendicular. And look over here and snap it into place. There we go. Now using the right stick, I'm just pressing up until the corner, the cursor hits that corner. It's going to snap into place. And left trigger to rotate it. That's, make sure that's perpendicular. See how it's not perpendicular. I actually miscalculated. So I'm going to click the right trigger once to swing it back around. There we go. That's perpendicular. Snap it. Over here. This is all right stick. Just carefully pushing up until it snaps. And the more you do this, the faster you get. Alright, left trigger, let's rotate. Get this last side going right there. And press it up until it snaps, press it up until it snaps. And there we go. So the last piece we want is the top piece. We want to cap it with a piece of roof ridge. And the reason for that is if you don't do that, when it rains like this, it's just going to rain on your fire. So putting a roof ridge up there will leave two sides open, and that will be adequate to ventilate the smoke. But as you can see, it's kind of hard. I mean, let's try it. Let's use a 45-degree roof ridge, and I'm snapping from the bottom, so maybe it'll let me do it. You know what I'm going to do? Right now, it's on that back corner. I'm going to press down on the right stick. Press down on the right stick again. There we go. So now it's snapping back, and I'm just going to pull down on my left stick a little bit to walk backwards until it. Let's see if that works. That didn't really work the way I wanted it to. Let's press down again on the right stick to get a different angle. That's not good. Yeah, see, it's trying. Right now, it's snapping in the middle of. It's trying to put the middle of the ridge vent on one wall of that chimney. So let's ignore this. Sometimes you just need to get higher. Sometimes you just need to get higher so you get a better view. The easiest way to do this is to build a ladder. So use our hammer. Inside my circle. There we go. Go to the build menu. Build a ladder piece. And ladder pieces are a little weird. You hop up ladders. It's kind of annoying. I'm going to place one, and then I'm going to walk forward, and you kind of hop up. And so you just kind of press up until you jump up, and if you fall off, just jump back on and try it again. And I'm using my cursor. Ignore the ladder piece. Just look at the cursor. I'm pushing the cursor at the top of the first ladder piece to snap the second ladder piece in. And I just need to go up 2 levels. That'll probably give me. Well, let's go 3 levels. Now, if you fall off the ladder from this height, you're going to take damage. So when you do this, make sure that you've had eaten a couple of pieces of food, so you don't die. Because dying from falling damage is dumb, and you'll feel dumb. All right, at this point, this is high enough. So I'm going to press my B button. I'm going to go down here and choose my ridge cap, my 45-degree ridge cap, and I'm going to rotate it. There we go. And I need to change so that it's not snapping on this side, it's snapping on the other side. So I want to change, by pressing down on the right stick, I'm going to change the corner that I'm holding it from. Again, there we go. Now I'm holding it from that top right corner, and I can drag it with the right stick. I can drag it forward a little bit until it snaps, just like that. There we go. Look at that. That's perfect. Now I can come walk down my stairs. See, I took a little bit of damage there, not too much, fortunately. I'll deconstruct my my thing here. Let's go inside. Let's go inside. Take a look. So this is the wall. This is the wall. I'm gonna switch to my hammer real quick. So you're just seeing. This is the wall piece that on the other side of this is where I built the chimney. So I want to deconstruct this one piece, highlight it, press my left bumper. That highlights it. Now I can just walk inside. Now I'm inside my chimney. Look at that. Look at that. It's a good looking chimney. All right. And the last thing I need to do is build my fire. And this is where the fire is going to go. You have to build fire on dirt or stone. You cannot build fire on wood. It'll burn it. So let's go to I'll press up on my D-pad to enter build mode and press B. Now I'm going to select, I'm going to tab over using my bumpers, tab to the left, and I'm going to select the campfire, not the bonfire, the campfire. And I'm just going to kind of center it here in this one little square. If you move it where you can't build it, it's going to turn red. So if you see it turn red, that just says you can't build it here. So use the right stick to just move it until it's just centered and it's not red, and then press the right bumper, bam. And now we have fire inside of the house, The rain can't get to it. The rain can't fall on it. It'll always stay dry. So it doesn't matter whether it's raining or not. It will always stay dry. And this is the basic minimum starting setup. I have shelter. I am completely protected from the rain and from the cold. Well, from the rain. I have a fireplace that's covered, but it's also ventilating smoke. So it's not going to get wet. It's not going to go out. And it's keeping me warm, so I'm not cold. And because I'm next to the fire, I can now sleep. Actually, I can't sleep now because it's still daytime, but if it were nighttime, I could sleep. So this is the basic, and then I got my workbench over here. This is the minimum basic setup. And then from here, you can add, let's go into the build menu. I can add a cooking station right here. Just put that right. Yeah. And now I can cook stuff. And again, I haven't mentioned this really, but because I've spent a lot of time in the build menu, and I think this is something you were struggling with earlier. You'd built some shit, like you just built that, and you're like, no, I don't want to build anything anymore. But I've just got this prototype hanging out in front of me. What do? Press up on the D-pad. Up on the D-pad. Up on the D-pad. If you have the hammer selected, and if you're in build mode, you have the hammer selected. Up on the D-pad will exit build mode. So you just built something. How do I make this go away? I can press B and I can select something else, but it's still there. It's still something. I don't want to build anything anymore. Up on the D-pad. Just press up on the D-pad. That'll exit build mode, and then you can open doors. You can use stuff. It looks like it stopped raining. So let's go outside. Let's go outside and let's admire our structure. Got a good looking house here. This is like a basic. This is the basic structure, but it's perfect. It's perfect for it's got some space in it. It's got shelter. I got a little fireplace here, and you can tell that this. You can look here and see the wood. How the wood is kind of aged a little bit. This is because it was raining on it while we were building it. It was before we put that roof cap on. So if I go into build mode and I select the hammer and I press the right bumper instead of the left bumper. Left bumper will destroy it, right bumper will repair it. You can actually return it to that pristine, unweathered look. All the way up. All the way up. You don't have to do that, but I like to do it. I'm a perfectionist, so look at that. Alright. And this is where we start. And this is so much better than these crappy little lean-tos that they give you. Just like the game wants you. This is when it introduces you to building and stuff. It just wants you to repair these, and this is kind of what we did initially. We just repaired one and then filled in the holes. And yeah, that's a good way to learn. But God, these are so inadequate. They have no space. They're kind of cramped. This is so much better. Look at that. I'm proud of it. I'm proud of it. I'm proud of us. We did a great job. I hope that made sense. If it didn't, text me and let me know. I'm going to go see if I can get this thing uploaded. Love you. I'll talk to you later.